T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Don't mess with the wrong melon farmers. Thug life. And here we go.
I prayed that he would burn in hell, but in my heart, I knew that hell would not have him.
You are all my children now.
Then I will avenge his death.
Hello, Sydney. Are you a god?
Don't you remember?
The Force will be with you, always.
Wish I had you all alone, just the two of us.
On Halloween 1963 in Haddonfield, Illinois, 6-year-old Michael Myers murdered his own sister in cold blood. But it was 15 years later, on Halloween 1978, that the legend, the Myers murders, were born. Having escaped protective custody, Laurie Strode as the sole survivor.
What's the boogeyman? What's the room where that stupid little kid believes? I totally believe in the boogeyman. I wish I had you all.
How you doing?
Good, how are you? Hey, Grandma.
I am not your grandma.
Ellie! What the fuck?
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Movies and Beyond. Once again, I am Michael, and today, well, it's Sunday. With me, as always, is Mad Matt from Mad Matt's Mask, and man, it's only been, what, 2 days?
2 days, man. 2 days. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it. It's like we're on a roll here.
Oh, yeah, man.
It's October. It's Halloween season. The weather, guys, has finally started feeling like Haddonfield.
Today is day one. I wore a hoodie today.
Man, and I tell you what, doesn't it feel great, man?
It does, man. It was nice.
It's just something about fall, especially if you're a horror fan, man. It's just sitting there watching them. It's better if there's a chill out there in the air, man. But yeah, and hitting a video Friday and now on Sunday. Bring it on, man. I'm great. It's great to have you guys all here, and I'm ready to talk some Halloween.
Oh, yeah. Not just Halloween, but we got 3 of them to talk about today. We got 4, 5, and 6. One I definitely like more than the other 2, but let's see who we have in the chat.
It's a trilogy I've never broken down. This is a trilogy that I don't know if you have, Michael, but this is the first for me to just.
I don't think I've ever broken it down online. I've talked about it, with people before, but not so much as a subject as content for the channel. Definitely have not done that for sure. This is definitely a new one for us. Jerry Wilson's in the chat saying excited for this one. What's up, Jerry? What's going on, my man?
What's up, Jerry?
Callie Duff in the chat saying hi. What's going on? What's going on?
Hello, Callie.
Lydia's in the chat saying hidey ho, officers. What's up, Lydia? What's going on?
Doozy of a day. Doozy of a day.
Doozy of a day. What's that from? What is that from?
That is from Tucker and Dale versus.
That is. Officer, it has been a doozy of a day. Yeah, definitely. That's so good. I love that movie so much. Russell Dorsey's in chat saying, what's up, everyone? I smashed that like button before I came in this awesome stream in chat. Happy Sunday, everyone. What is up, Russell?
Always great to see you, Russell.
What's going on? Val from Val's Views is in the chat. The General is in the chat, and the General will always get the salute from Movies and Beyond. What is up, Val? Wayne Turner's in the chat saying, hi all, it's 11:02 a.m. Monday here in Sydney, Australia. Remember, every rose has its thorn, and every Halloween movie franchise has its Thorn Trilogy. Well said, Wayne. Well said.
Like that. What's up, Wayne?
Well said. Let's see, who else do we have here? Bye-bye Polar is in the chat saying, hey everyone, happy Sunday. What's up, Polar?
Hello, Polar.
And James has entered the chat. The Shape's in the chat, and he's saying, hi there, everyone out there. I hope you all had a great day. I did. The Bengals won. Oh, yeah, they did win today. Sure did.
Now, who did they beat today?
They beat the Cardinals.
Okay, nice.
They played the Cardinals and beat them today. Mad Mom, a.k.a. Teresa Stevens, is in the chat saying, hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. What's up, Teresa? Happy Sunday to you, too.
Hello, Mother.
Dark Witch is in the chat saying, how's everyone doing tonight? Hi, Michael. Hi, Matt. What is going on?
Dark Witch, welcome. Welcome. Great to have you.
Tristan Mobley's in the chat saying, happy Sunday, guys. What's up, Tristan? What's going on, my man?
Hey, man. Tristan, always a pleasure to have you, man. Always, man.
Darkroom Secrets is in the chat saying, hello, everyone. What is going on?
Great to see you, Kim. It's been, 3 hours? Good to see you. Good to see you.
See, trying to get I always love seeing the Thug Lives. They always make me happy.
Awesome. Our crew is awesome. Our crew is awesome.
Sean Hess is in the chat saying, what's up, my dudes? Glad to see you. What is up, Sean? What is going on, my man?
Welcome. Welcome, Sean.
Let's see here. I think, when I always think I do, that's when I don't. Lydia has in the chat, you can support Halloween Lives at Indiegogo, and she provides the link. Let's go ahead and help Brandon out. Let's go ahead and see what we can do to help him out. Lydia has been nice enough to post the link in the chat for everyone to take a look at all the awesome perks that he has available to fund this film. Angel's Joker is in the chat saying, "What up? What up? What is going on, Angels? What is going on?"
Yeah, what's going on, bud? What's going on?
I hate when this happens. So, like, I'll scroll down, and sometimes what it'll do is it'll jump like way ahead, and I have to go back and see, see exactly where I was. Oh, this sucks. All right, what did I miss? All right, so if I do end up missing anybody, I do apologize. It's StreamYard's fault, not mine. Of course, I'm not taking the blame for that. John's in the chat saying, "Hi all, what is up, John? What's going on, my man?"
John, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you.
And Kim is in the chat as well, saying, "Hey, what is going on, Kim?"
Hello, Kim.
All right, I think that I got everybody. Now, there were a lot of comments and a lot of conversation in between, you know, us saying hello, a lot of people talking about, you know, what they thought of the Thorn trilogy, which ones they did like, which ones they didn't like. And
that's our people, man.
Those are
people. It's awesome.
Definitely. Those are the things that we're here to talk about tonight, you know. Diving into these movies, you know, they're good conversation for sure. They're definitely good conversation because, you know, you and I aren't going to agree on probably anything, you know, with any of these whatsoever.
And I do just want to say welcome. I've got it here that, you know, Angel Joker is my good friend Eric. And Eric, it's great to have you on here, my friend. Just wanted to give you a shout out, buddy. Great to have you on here, buddy. But yeah, you and I, man, you couldn't pick a better pair to have a show if you want to see both sides of anything.
Hey, man, we got the Strangers Part 2. You know, we always got that well to go back to.
We hit common ground here and there. But yeah, who wants to see a show where it's just like, dude, this was awesome? Yeah, it was awesome. That sucked. It did suck. Like, no, you know, but we also keep it fair, friendly. We try our best to give the facts of, you know, why we think of it this way and all that stuff. It's good fun, man. But that's how I like it. Good back and forth. I
think Halloween 5 will give us a good, interesting conversation between the two of us for sure.
I think this trilogy, because I've been bouncing it in my head a lot.
Yeah.
I think this is like the trilogy that just has so much potential for good, you know, back and forth. It's just so all over the place. It's very all over the place with these three, in my opinion.
Yeah, I
mean, with its highs and lows and whatnot.
Of course. Yeah. Like I recently watched all three of these movies. You know, yesterday I watched 4 and 5, and this morning I watched 6. Well, I fell asleep a couple times and had to, you know, go back because I woke up way too early. Not that it wasn't, you know, entertaining, but I ended up watching all three of these, you know, just to freshen up because I usually don't watch 5 and 6 too often, you know, and I definitely wanted to be fresh for the show. So I did go in and watch, you know, all three of those. And it's just like the thing that popped in my head, the one saying that popped in my head when they were over is like, one of these aren't like the others, you know, but it wasn't from a bad standpoint for me. You know, it was from a good standpoint. We'll definitely get into those for sure. Let's see what everybody's talking about. Wayne Turner is saying, Russell, it sounds like the Exorcist believer dies tonight. Oh, you seen anything to do with that yet, Matt? The Exorcist believer?
I have not. It's my it's the next on my list. And I know I've heard what kind of reviews are coming in and all that stuff. But it's, you know, I'm a big Exorcist fan. It's just something I have to see.
Yeah, definitely.
I did just see this evening the new Saw, and Saw's not my baby, but I definitely give it a thumbs up as far as Saw movies go.
I've heard good things from Saw 10. I have.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it yet either.
Like, I don't see where anybody could just totally trash it. I don't. It's just very solid. You know, there's nothing stupid. The plot's good. The traps and everything that they're in are all done really nice. I mean, I'm not a Saw guy, guys, and it kept my interest the entire time.
That's good.
And it's even got it's got that wow factor at the end. So yeah, man. But next for me is Exorcist, and yeah, I'll let you know what I think after that. But
let's look at it this way, right? Since neither of us have seen it, you look at a name like The Exorcist, right? Arguably, now I said arguably, one of the best horror movies of all time.
Yeah.
Right? It's on a lot of people's list to be the best.
Yeah.
You know, whether it is or you have to, it's not my favorite horror movie of all time, but I see why. You know, I do
too.
It deserves its respect, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
For a movie that was, now I know you had Exorcist 2, you had Exorcist 3. Exorcist 3 gets a lot of love. You know what I mean? And that's great. But The Exorcist 1, it is a movie that has a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it ends. Like, you really didn't need anything after that. You know what I mean? Like, it summed everything up. It finished off the story. And for a movie that's well-renowned, like The Exorcist is, I don't think no matter what you do in an Exorcist movie, you're not going to live up to the hype of the original. You're just not. I just don't feel like that is something to where if, somebody called me right now and said, hey, we want you to do the next Exorcist. No. I would not want, that's like saying, hey, Michael, we want you to do the next Star Wars movie. No. I can love these things, but there's no way that I would want that weight and that burden. I mean, you got to think about it. They paid $400 million just for the rights to make an Exorcist movie. Now, that does not include the amount of money you have to spend to make the movie, right? So you're starting off in a $400 million plus hole with this movie. And you got to think, when you make money on this movie, you're splitting that profit with the movie theaters. You're not getting all of that. When Halloween 2018 came out and made $255.6 million, the studio didn't get $255.6 million. That's how much money the movie made. They probably got half of that. So when you look at, we have already spent $400 million. And now we have to, what do you think they made it for? We'll say 20 million, and that's just a guess off the top of my head. Might have been more, might have been a little less. I'm thinking with, makeup and stuff, it's probably going to be on the plus side of that, right? Or at least close. So you're starting off in that hole. And if you don't start this series off with a bang and they don't find it justifiable to make a sequel, I mean, that's a tough spot to be in, right?
Absolutely. And I want to say another thing that, like you said, if they're saying, hey, I want you to make The Exorcist, another thing that makes it so scary, to reimagine The Exorcist is its popularity and its, fame and, what it's done for the horror, genre. So much of it relied on the time. It was the first, when that came out, and that's a real good reason why people have such a strong case when they do say it is the best of all time, because what it did for its time is unparalleled. You just did not see, you had no wow. The wow factors for that time were off the charts. The things that came out of the girl's mouth, the things she was doing were like, now we've seen it all, guys. We have. But think about going into that movie in 1973 and what they were doing, what was happening with the crucifix. I won't go into any more than that, but things like that. And what was coming out of this girl's mouth and stuff was way left field, man. You know, so a lot of it had to do with that time. And that's one thing we can't do. We can't go back in time. Right. You know, so that's why, even more so than a lot of movies, you know, it's one you're never gonna surpass that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've seen everything vulgar, you know, we've seen all the blood, the gore that you could possibly imagine, you know, but they hadn't seen any of that back in 1973 when they went to see The Exorcist. You know, it was a what the F experience. So that's why it's such a hard one. If you ask me, it's the time that it came out, but what it did for the time was something that you can't duplicate it. So
I feel like, unless this movie, like, you're going to have a group of people that are going to love it just because it's called The Exorcist. You're going to have a group of people that hate it because it's called The Exorcist. You know what I mean? So I always find that when I look at movies, you know, I cut off the top half of what people say and the bottom half of what people say. And I just kind of focus more on the middle ground of, you know, what people are saying, because, you know, you're going to have those people, just like Halloween. You know, you're going to have people that love the movie no matter what because it's called Halloween. You're going to have people that hate it no matter what because it's called Halloween. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to gauge what people say about it until you see it for yourself to make up, you know, your mind. But it's just it's tough. It's a tough sell. Like, I want this movie to do good. I want this movie to be good for horror in general. But if I'm being 100% honest, looking at the trailers, it didn't, you know, shock me or anything. Like, it didn't, you know, give me a feeling like, oh yes, this is an Exorcist movie, because I've seen this movie like 100 other times. Like, there's so many demon possessed movies out there now, you know, that the market is saturated with it, that it's like, if you're paying $400 million to call it The Exorcist, you know, you better have some very strong ties to The Exorcist, and then it not just be a run-of-the-mill demon movie, you know, because then what's the point? You know what I mean? What was the point of dropping that $400 million? Now, one thing they do have on their side, it's October, and it's called The Exorcist. You know what I mean? Right. And you look at horror fans, yeah, you're going to be divided. You know, you either love or hate The Exorcist, but where most of that money is going to come from, and I've talked about this, you know, before with Halloween and all that other stuff, are the casual people that want to go to the theater in October and see something scary. You know, are those the people that you're going to win over that say, hey, I might want to see it a second time? Or I'm going to tell my buddy, this was awesome, we had a great time. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a tough thing to gauge, you know, when you talk about, you know, making money. Was the movie that good? Did it make this much money? Or did it make a bunch of money because it was in October and it was a popular horror movie name? You know, so it's definitely that's, you know, my opinion of The Exorcist prior to seeing it, of course, because I haven't yet. I'm going to try to get to the theater either Monday or Tuesday night to check this out, because I definitely need to see it before next week for sure.
Yeah.
The Shape is saying Friday the 13th comes this week. Stay away from anywhere called Crystal Lake. Hey, man. Hey, I'd be happy to go to Camp Crystal Lake about now. Tell me what. Hell, I've even got a Crystal Lake t-shirt on, man. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Polar is saying super excited for Friday the 13th in October. It's the best month to have a Friday the 13th. It is the best month. Wayne Turner saying, for those who have seen them, what is worse, Exorcist Believer, Jeepers Creepers Reborn? Oh, that does not make me feel good about it. John is saying, I like Believer. Granted, I wasn't expecting much, and it definitely had its issues, but I still had fun with it. And at the end of the day, that's what you want, right?
Absolutely.
That is what you want.
Absolutely.
Wayne is saying, rumor that Blumhouse is getting the rights to make future Friday the 13th movies, ... And I think that I'm more focused on the ... Don't know.
Dude, I can't wait. I cannot wait for Friday the 13th, guys. Man.
I mean, I want it done right and not just get one. Like, if I get one and it sucks, then I'd just rather us not get one. Seriously. Like, that's the worst thing. Lydia is saying, like and follow Mad Matt's Mask on Facebook to keep up with the latest collectibles arriving in the shop. And she's nice enough to post the link down below. So if you want to see what they have in the shop, she has the link there for you.
That's awesome. Thank you, Lydia. We're doing some great things there, guys, and we're trying our absolute best to bring the best quality horror collectibles. So I just love, number one is just meeting all these amazing horror fans, dude. Before I started the shop, Michael, I had no idea. Just how cool the horror community is. And that's what made it, my goal to it's something I still strive to, something I want to do full time, but it's just how damn cool the horror community is, man. And just talking to each and every one of you that come in, whether it's about what you're collecting, what your favorite horror movie is, but I just want to be as involved as I possibly can. It's another thing that's great about coming on your show, Michael, and I'm so it's just my pleasure that you asked me to come on here. It's another opportunity to talk to you great people, and I love it, man. I love it, dude.
The good thing about YouTube is it kind of broadens everything too. It's not just talking to people in Ohio. At this point, you get to talk to people all over the world about their horror stuff. And it is fun, man, for sure.
Yeah.
And you definitely meet some cool people here for sure. I definitely made some people that I definitely call friends, just from doing
YouTube. Man.
100%.
Yeah. And when someone comes in or I see on YouTube or whatever, and they show me a picture of their setup, of their new collectibles or whatever. And if it's something they got from me, man, that means a lot, dude. That means a lot. So, if I can get something in your hands that you put on your shelf that you cherish for years to come, that's what it's all about.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Denisha Lane is in the chat saying, hey, everyone, what's up, Denisha? Always good to have you here for sure.
Hello, Denisha. Welcome.
My Chunky Jordy is in the chat saying, hi, everyone. What is going on? Let's see, I think we might be. Tristan is saying, I'd do the next Star Wars movie, not that high of a bar after Disney's run. I think that alone, my friend, just belongs in Dave Filoni's hands. Just let him have it. He knows what to do with it. Just keep everybody else out of it.
Bet
seriously.
Wheels have already been spinning about what he would do with the whole Star Wars franchise.
Well, shit. I mean, we're not too far off. I'd say the next year and a half. Well, they usually do December, so I'd say probably December 2025 is when we'll get our next Star Wars full movie, and it's Dave Filoni's movie. So there's definitely a lot of hope for that one, for sure. Let's see. John was saying it was a $30 million budget. Okay, great, man. And I knew somebody knowing here, and I said,
"For what now?"
The Exorcist. I can't hear you for some reason. Like you're really light tonight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't want to like talk over you or anything just because I didn't hear you. But yeah, that was for The Exorcist. 39 million budget.
Let me work and see if I can turn myself up.
See, okay.
Do you know how I turn myself up?
Let you figure that one out there. Get your headset on there. Let's see. James is asking, how much did the first Exorcist cost back in 73? Dude, I don't even know. I'm sure that it was nowhere near, what they're spending now for sure. But I'm sure someone in the chat will probably be able to look that up for you and let you know. Wayne is saying, yeah, I agree, dude. Judge it on its own merit. Judging it versus the original, it won't and can't win. No, that's 100%, man. That is 100% with that for sure.
Michael, how do I sound now?
Yeah, way better.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah, way better.
All right. Cool.
And John came out and said 12 million. Yeah, that's definitely not as much, but I mean, you look at $12 million, back in what, 73.
Oh, that was the first Exorcist.
Yeah, that is not cheap.
No, it's not. So I guess my mic was just turned down. That's my fault, guys.
Oh, you're all good.
Not that anybody wants to hear me talk anyway, but yeah.
We kept you turned down. I turned you
Mad
down.
Mom probably did it on purpose.
Denisha Light saying, Michael, can't wait for Friday the 13th. It has been too long. Denisha, you said it, my friend. Way too long.
Dude, Friday. It has. And it's funny, Michael, because we just talked about how, while you were growing up, Halloween had the huge hiatus, and we were busting out Friday the 13th. Now it's the complete opposite.
I'm pretty sure by the time they made Halloween 4, Jason was already in Manhattan. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure those years are really close together. And it's just like, yeah, man, they were. Russell Dorsey, # bring Jason back. Please do, and do it right. Love of God, do it right.
Now, one thing they're bringing back that I'm stoked for is Christine. We're getting a Christine remake, and I'm a huge Christine fan, guys. So
now, is that going to be like a full-fledged remake and have like Arnie Cunningham as the main character?
I have not dived into it yet as far as what they're doing, but I'll say something. I'll say something that I've said for the longest time. This probably isn't what they're doing, but I always thought it'd be cool to do a prequel. The story that the guy, that they get the car from, when he tells about his brother and his, I guess his niece choking to death and all that in the car. Tell that story. I always thought that would be such a great prequel. But no, I haven't dived into what they're doing just yet, but I know it is a solid go. And, I love Christine, man.
I mean, I've heard they were remaking it, but I haven't,
I believe you're right. I believe it's just a solid remake.
Okay.
Not an add-on or, but yeah. I think it needed that prequel, that story that he tells about his brother owning the car. I thought it would have been so cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right, man. Let's dive in. Let's talk about the Thorn Trilogy. Let's talk about it as a whole. Let's start there, and then we'll go into like 4, 5, and 6. So as a whole, how did you feel about the Thorn Trilogy as a whole? I know you talked about it, looking at it, thinking, it is kind of all over the place. It is, but if you sit down and watch 4, 5, and 6, and you get up and you can be like, yeah, that's a good conclusion to this story, or how did you feel about that direction that they went, going into 4? Or going into the Thorn Trilogy.
I'm going to have probably one of the weakest answers for this. The Thorn Trilogy, I blocked out. You might be saying, well, what the hell? How do you overlook it, or how you look past it? I really did, though. I blocked it out. It was just a big take it or leave it with me. I just didn't care about it. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to lean towards the side that, I'm not in favor of the whole cult of Thorn.
Right.
But I'm saying that I blocked it out because I also didn't let it ruin these films for me. Mm-hmm. I just didn't, because there's a lot more to it than just but I thought it was stupid. I'm not gonna lie. And we'll talk more once we break them down. I am a big fan of
right.
I'm a big fan of 4. I'm a big fan of 6. But I blocked the Thorn part of it out. Okay. I don't think there's anything cool about it.
I think I lost your sound altogether because I'm not hearing you.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
All right. Sorry.
You're right.
You hear me okay though?
Yeah.
Okay. So I just, from the guy that they're showing breaking Myers out of jail and all that stuff. But what I was going to say, Michael, is I had never seen the producer's cut of Halloween 6 until you brought it to my attention.
Oh God, that was
now. Had that have been the only Halloween 6 I'd ever seen, I would have thought it was absolute dog shit.
Yeah.
And I know you kind of had, since you've seen both of them, you're kind of putting them all together. So I see that you're not that big of a 6 fan.
Oh God,
especially if you have any of the producer's cut in your mind, because that was awful. It was silly. Just all across the board, down to throwing rocks down and Michael can't pass, down to what is this about? Jamie is having Michael's baby. This is stuff that is not just bad, it's god awful bad. But you don't get near that much of it in the theatrical version. You really don't. You just get little, like hints of it. And I'm just going to say I was never a fan. So I turned that switch off, Michael, and I watched it. I watched it for other reasons. How Michael looked, did I like some of the characters? Was the atmosphere there? That's what I did. Just being completely honest, man. No, was I ever on board with this Thorn trilogy and thinking it was cool and wanted it to continue and blah, blah? No. But it was something that I did not let overshadow my love for Halloween. If that makes sense, man. And I had never seen, like I said, the producer's cut. That takes, in my opinion, that's the heaviest the Thorn trilogy gets, and it gets very heavy, and it's even disturbing.
Yeah, I mean it.
But I had never seen that.
So I did watch the theatrical cut today.
Okay.
And in looking at the Thorn trilogy as a whole, I think that 4 was good. I absolutely despised 5, and 6 I wasn't a fan of either. And I think it had a lot to do with where they went. And you kind of get, and not a lot of people talk too much about this, or at least I haven't heard too much about it. One thing that I didn't even like about 4 was we got the transfer of evil between Michael and Jamie. She went and touched his hand, you know what I mean? And then at the end, she's standing, on the end with the pair of scissors, stabbing her mom.
Yeah.
And it's just like, as much as I love 4, and don't get me wrong, 4 is in my top 5 Halloween movies. I think that 4, if you want to go that route, 4 is a good movie. It does have its holes. I'm definitely not a fan of the mask, although I do constantly bring up, that one scene, man, that it doesn't matter what mask he's wearing for me. When you get that lightning scene and Michael sits up on the other side of the bed.
That doesn't frighten you?
It's just, I just love it, dude. I love it so freaking much. Like, just something cinematically with that, man. It is just one of my favorite.
That's not frightening to you, Michael?
Good God, man.
Guys, it is the weakest mask.
Look at those eyebrows, bro. Look at him.
Weakest. He's got Elvis sideburns going on too. Like,
oh, dear God.
Michael, I'm right there with you. It is the weakest mask of all time. But yeah, that is not frightening.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I got to bring this up because it's something you said to me, and I almost hope that we can reimagine it sometime. But like you were saying, when the lightning hits, that could be like an H1 or something.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Dude, when you told me that, I was like, yeah.
It would rival the firefighter image, not the scene itself, but the actual image where Michael's standing there by the fire. I'm not saying it would be better than that, but it'd be right up there with me, with it for me, for sure. Somebody should be able to deep fake that by now. Like, there's got to be a deep fake where somebody did something with that. Like, seriously.
Shit, could Brandon throw it in Halloween Lives, man? Shit. I'm just saying,
Have to
man.
sit up with the lightning.
Dude, I'm just saying.
That would be awesome.
But ever since you told that to me, I was like, I've been wanting to see it, Michael. I've been wanting to see it.
My thought process behind it was I love the scene so much. I would just love to change the mask.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I would just love to see what that looked like. Denise is saying, Michael can't wait for the Friday the 13th TV show that rumors to be happening. It is happening, Denisha, and I cannot wait as well. 100%.
I think Denisha just wants us to start talking Friday the 13th.
Hey, I am all about Friday the 13th, 100%.
And we will get there.
Val is saying I was okay with the Thorn trilogy overall. 6 was the worst of the 3, especially the producer's cut of 6. Yeah, the producer's cut was absolutely terrible.
Okay, Val. 100%. Okay, Val. Okay.
Wayne Turner saying they already remade Christine. It was called Halloween Ends. Zing.
Bazinga. Yeah, bazinga.
Russell Dorsey is saying, I still watch Halloween 6 every Halloween season.
Hell yeah, Russell. Me too, buddy. Me too, man. But not the producer's cut.
Wayne is saying 4. 4, it peaked. Yeah, to me, 4 was definitely the best one. 100% out of the 3. By a long shot, in my opinion. By a lot. Polar is saying, can you guys remind me what is in the producer's cut? Well, you get a lot more Loomis, which is actually a plus. You do get more Loomis. Jamie is pregnant with Michael's baby. I would love to see how that went down. I'd love to see how they managed to pull that one off. Michael at the end is incapacitated by rocks in a circle around him that he cannot get out of. Yeah, it was just, and that's just a few things. Like it is a lot different of a movie. Like Jamie's character doesn't die at the very beginning like she did in this one. She like lives through that. She ends up dying later.
I believe you lent that to me, Michael, just to mess with me. I'm really.
Hey, you wanted to see it.
I'm really starting to think now.
You wanted to see it.
It's all coming together.
Yeah.
Like, you like 6, Matt? Well, check this out.
Yeah. Oh, you like 6? Here, watch this one. It's another version, buddy.
You'll love it.
It's another version.
Oh man, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Wayne Turner is saying Halloween 6 is best known for Paul Rudd now. Yeah, and I mean, even on the credits, I can't remember the way it looked, but his name looked different. I think he had his middle name in there as well instead of just Paul Rudd. It was just like Paul something.
And
Rudd.
it wasn't that long ago where I had to like go back and check, because when I first watched it, Paul Rudd was nobody,
Yeah.
But so it was years later, and I kind of like did the image in my head. I'm like, dude, this guy looks like the guy from Halloween 6, and I thought it would be BS, but then he was. But yeah, I'm a 6 fan, guys. We'll get there, but I am a 6 fan.
I remember the first time I saw it. I went on a date in high school to see that movie to the movie theater. And I walked out of there like, what are we doing? Why did this happen? I knew it wasn't going to be great because of how 5 was.
It was great, Michael.
Oh, good God, man. God.
Guys,
let's see.
What you came for.
Polar was saying, in the end, Loomis lives and the Thorn curse is passed to him. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Russell saying, I don't think Busta Rhymes was kung fuing Halloween 6 Michael Myers. Well, yeah, I don't think he would either. Unless, Russell, he had some pebbles in his shoes.
So are we breaking down 4 right now still?
Well, we'll go back to that. I'm just going through the
No, you're good.
Yeah,
I just want to know, I want to keep track of where we are here.
James is saying, ain't no damn rock's going to keep Michael back. He will shove those rocks down your throat.
Dude, hell yeah. Hell yeah. It's the corniest thing. James, I don't know if you've seen the producer's cut of 6, but just don't bother, man. Don't bother. because especially if you're a fan of 6, just keep yourself with theatrical for sure.
Val is saying the tall white-haired doctor rolled some D&D type of dice. Yeah. James is saying it's not the worst mask, but it's pretty ugly.
Which mask, James? 4?
I think he was talking about 6.
No, Jay. I know James likes 6. He must
clear that up for us there, James.
Yeah.
Wayne Turner is saying H2O CGI mask is worse. Yeah, God, that's absolutely terrible.
I don't know if I don't know. I might even prefer that over 4. Or the pink mask that shows up. Is it 4 when he busts in the school real quick and throws Loomis the weird pink mask?
Yep, with the white hair.
It's that CGI or 4. That'd be a good show. What's the worst between those 3 god awful?
And why? What's the worst and why?
Those 3 are, oh man, terrible.
Val was saying, Puller, it's the one that also really hit on that Michael was the dad of Jamie's baby. Yeah.
It's not in the theatrical cut. It's not.
You know what? We'll get to it later because I really want to know.
Where'd you guys even get the damn producer's cut?
Who is if it's not Michael's baby, whose baby is it?
Some
in the theatrical cut?
Local watering hole, some low life.
All right.
Bubba.
They just kept him locked up and had a random drunk guy in there. I get it. So, starting with 4, we get the return, of Michael Myers, something that we haven't seen since 1981. This was I was waiting for this one as a kid. Like, when the hell's Michael coming back? I want to see Michael because Jason and Freddy were tearing it up for years at this point. And Michael was just kind of left out. In that book, I'm always talking about, Taking Shape too. They just couldn't get it together. Nobody could agree to make the movie. They had so many people that owned parts of it that none of them would agree on anything. Some of them didn't even want to make another Halloween. And it was just a horrible time, for Halloween through that run. And for them to come back with 4, reading multiple scripts for Halloween 4 to make this movie, what they did was they combined about 4 or 5 scripts together to come up with Halloween 4. And it was good. It was a good movie. I definitely liked this one. I liked where they went, and you got to see, Michael was laying there. He was, apparently, you learn that he survived, right? Because at the end of Halloween 2, I figured he was dead, because he blew up and he did that fire walk. And you could see when they go to pick Michael up that his hands are all burned up. So, they kept that, which was really good. So seeing that for the first time, I was really excited about this one. Now, were you old enough to be excited about Halloween 4 coming out, or was this something that was already out?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm jealous of just hearing you talk about it because it had to be so cool. But no, those were ones I grew up on, 4 and 5. But I was not old enough to know the hiatus and this is Michael coming back now. I was not. So
I was definitely lucky enough as a kid to have parents that would let me go see those movies. As long as you had a parent that was there to buy the ticket with you, you could go in. And it was either my parent that would buy the ticket, for me and my friend, or my friend's parent. They knew we watched horror movies. Hell, I was watching, I think, is it 6? I think Friday 6 was the first Friday I went to see in the theaters. Because I don't think
Michael, we don't get these days back, do we?
I don't think I saw 5. Maybe I did. I don't know. If I did, I don't remember.
That's what's cool about the show. We could so reminisce. Like you don't get those days back, man.
No, you definitely don't. And then, seeing 4, I was super excited about it. And I remember my friend at the time, we watched all the horror movies together. We were, it was hell yeah, dude. Michael's coming back. They're going to do something awesome. And for the most part, especially as kids, I was probably 10 at this point, watching this movie. And dude, you know, that was before, you know, I could see really little things that were just like, the only thing that really bugged me about 4 was the big poster of Halloween 4. You know, it had the old school mask on it. And when I saw the new mask, I was just like, that doesn't look right. You know what I mean? Like it didn't ruin the movie for me by any means as a 10-year-old.
No,
you know
but I even remember that. It's like, why?
I do remember thinking that doesn't look right. Like there's just something different. Like I couldn't put my finger on it, you know, the first time, you know, walking out, you look at the poster and you're like, that just doesn't look the same. You know, it really didn't. And that was one thing that I wouldn't say it bugged me, but it was something I remember thinking about at a very young age before I could really, you know, analyze a movie and totally break it down and say what I liked and didn't like about the movie.
We even talk about it today. Like, why did they get the poster right, but not the actual film?
If I'm a 10-year-old with ADD and I see it, you know what I mean? Like it's definitely noticeable. It was definitely a noticeable thing for sure. But I mean, you know, they take Michael out and, you know, they're constantly playing the Halloween music and you just know, you know, the first time you see it, like, well, he's getting out of this, you know, so obviously they pull him away and then the camera, you know, pans to Jamie and you meet Danielle Harris for the first time. And one thing that, if anyone in the chat can clear this up for me, or you, Matt, something that never really, I never really grasped the concept of is, do you remember when Jamie is sitting there on the couch and it's raining and you see outside the window, the ambulance is there with the doors open, right? And then she has that whole like Michael scenario in a room with the lightning and everything that I'm talking about there. Yeah. But yet when it pans away from that, you know, the ambulance is crashed into like a reservoir or a little lake or something upside down. And they're miles from, you know, Haddonfield.
Yeah.
So I never really put that together on why the hell she saw the ambulance outside, you know, with the back doors open. I know that was more of a dream sequence with Michael in her room, you know, that just kind of freaked her out. But I could never really, you know, put that together logically, you know, even as a younger person, how and why that
I look
happened.
Yeah. You know, I don't know if, you know, I can't say my answer is set in stone. How I looked at it as they were showing you they were trying to show you the ability of her like connection with Michael. That's what I kind of took it as. You know, she's kind of like seeing she can see what's happening. That's why the ambulance was there. Like, but yeah, just like in her mind and her connection with seeing what Michael's doing. I didn't look any further into that. I'm not saying that's right. That's what they were doing. That's just how I took it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I always had what are they, you know, like, what are they kind of doing with that? Like, it just never really stuck in there with me, you know, for some. You guys are killing me in the chat. I'm telling you, these guys are freaking hilarious. They're talking about Halloween 6 right now. They're talking about Michael being the baby's daddy. And some of them are asking, you know, like Timothy Centers is saying, whose job was it to collect a sample from Michael? And it's just like, man, it's like this could go down a lot of different roads. And it's just,
Tim's a trip, man.
Oh my God,
dude. And it's great to have him on here. And yeah, man, I don't know. That's why you should just keep the producer's cut out of this shit.
And then Russell comes back with, whose idea was it to put it in Halloween 6 producer's cut? Oh, you guys are freaking killing me.
I don't know how I went so long without seeing it. I mean, I'm glad I did, but jeez.
I mean, but even in a theatrical cut, it's pretty hinted at. That's what it is.
Michael, with borrowing a DVD, that's probably the fastest I've ever returned a DVD. Here's your Halloween 6. If it's something good, you're like, I'm not, you know, dude, I'm not sure. I don't think I borrowed that. Like,
I don't think I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, What do you, dude? No, like,
yeah.
6 producers cut. It's like the next day. What's your address? I'll just mail it to you. Jesus. Oh man, it's so bad.
The Shape is saying whoever took that sample from Michael was the bravest person on earth. Who? I mean, the way Halloween 6 was, maybe that's Michael did it himself. You don't know. Like, you really don't know. Like, I couldn't even fathom.
I am stoked about this trilogy though, because like
how that went down.
We're gonna have so many different views. Like, you know, I don't hate 5 as much as most people.
5 is a train wreck.
You know, maybe that's because I've seen Halloween Ends. I don't know.
I hated Halloween 5 until I saw Halloween Ends. Timothy is saying I was 10 when 4 came out. I remember how big it was that Michael was back. Dude, it was huge that Michael was back. 100%.
I'm so jealous of that. I'm so jealous of that, guys. I just missed it. And you were saying that was the first one, Michael, that you were ready to rock and roll going to theater.
Yeah.
Mine was 6.
Okay.
Mine was 6. Maybe that plays a part in my love for 6. You know?
It obviously does. Yeah, 100%. And that's why I'm always talking about, like, when you talk to people, and this is something I've talked about a lot on this channel, is a lot of times when somebody says, hey, I like this and this is my favorite, I always ask them how old they are. Not to the fact that I think that that's a bad thing. It's just like I'm trying to okay, well, you're only this age, so you probably didn't see them until, you know, this time frame. And it does, you know, it really does matter. Like, seeing the original Halloween and Halloween 2, I remember renting them. You know, I was young watching those. Obviously didn't see those in theaters. Hell, the first Halloween came out the year I was born. I think that I was about 8 months old when that movie came out. So obviously didn't see it then, but we definitely had the videotapes for sure. Timothy Center is saying the poster tricked us. Mask swap. They sure did, man. 100%.
Well, and not only like did they do better on the poster to this day is like, you know, Trick or Treat Studios themselves make a Halloween 4 poster mask. Like, how crazy is that? Like, they know it looks that good. I have a tattoo on my left calf. I always wanted a Michael Myers mask. Guys, it's the poster mask. It's the Part 4 poster mask. Like, he looked that good on the poster, guys.
It's one of my favorite Halloween posters.
Dude, it is so good looking. Like, so it's almost baffling. It's not like just like it's a little bit better, but it's like they nailed it on the poster. They nailed it. Like, it is the shape. And then you get, where'd I put him? And then you get this. And you get this. Like, it's come on. It's baffling. Like,
it is.
You know, it's just funny. I'm gonna knock him over again. The poster mask is gorgeous. It's
definitely
like
one of my favorite posters.
Yeah, it's the shape in all its glory. Like, the angles are right, the lines are right.
Shading is excellent.
The shading
it's great.
Spot on.
Yeah.
And we get that dog shit. So it's So I get you even seeing it as a kid. Like, something's off.
Right. I mean, as a 10-year-old kid, there's something's not. You look at your friend like something's not right. Like,
you know, yeah. God.
Wayne Turner is saying he looks like a mime with that mask in 4. He really does, man. It's those eyebrows, dude. Sideburns. There's a lot going on there. There's definitely a lot going on there.
Yeah, man. It's so bad. It is so bad. It's weak. It's weak. It's not scary. It's not intimidating. Like, you can have an ugly mask, but as long as if it's cringy or something, like, that's cool and stuff. But don't make a bad mask that's also not scary. That's just weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Danielle Harris should have been in Halloween 6. I do agree with that. And there was a big deal with that too. Like, she got emancipated and everything to be in that movie, and they still didn't have her in it. Like,
yeah,
you got to be freaking kidding me.
She's bitter about that to this day.
Oh, I can imagine.
And I don't blame her.
I can imagine. Lydia's saying, I didn't realize when I saw Halloween 6 for the first time, I was watching the producer's cut. I just thought that it was normal version, and Michael always had a son feud.
Oh, that sucks.
And I mean, there's nothing in the theatrical version, Lydia, that says that he's not. So, I mean, all I'm saying is what I'm saying. So, she's also saying, I'm just now realizing right now it's not, in fact, the normal version. Yeah, it's not the theatrical release. Timothy Centers is saying, I just realized that Ant-Man beat down Michael Myers. You know, or the kid from Clueless. I mean, you could look at it that way too. It's just kind of, it's just kind of different. So we are introduced, you know, going back to Halloween 4. We are looking at, we get to meet Jamie, we get to meet Rachel for the first time. And I really love their dynamic in this movie, man. I really loved those two characters together. Like this movie felt like Halloween to me. You know, it still had that, I wouldn't say all the way back to the original, you know, that feeling, but it still had, you know, a Halloween feeling to it. Michael was good, you know, other than, you know, obviously the look. He did have the color, the mask tucked in, though. You know, that collar was popped, you know, so he did have that look down. And George P. Wilbur did, you know, a really good job with Michael. And there's a lot of things in this movie, you know, that we look back to today. Like there's a lot of good characters in this. You know, you could look at Jamie Lloyd, you know, Rachel's a great character. And I mean, even kind of side characters that are still loved today. Like, what was his name? The power plant guy. Was it Bucky? Is that what his name was? That ended up getting thrown into
I believe you're right.
The electrical thing like that. I mean, there was a lot of good things about this movie.
Nowhere. Don't even think about going anywhere.
And it turned, and you could even go to the guy that was running the bar. There's nobody at the police station. No way, no how. You know what I mean? Like you could go back to that, dude. Like there's so many memorable moments in this movie. You know, you could go back to Loomis, like, you don't have a police force, you know, screaming. And then the brutal of Michael, even though they leave it off screen and they leave it to your imagination, when Michael goes into the police station and just rips that place apart, you know, they go back to the police station and Michael's been there and he's torn through everybody in there.
House.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that it was great. They did a lot of great things with this. How do you feel about Halloween 4? Like watching this, like I kind of highlighted, you know, some of the things for me, but for you, like what were you thinking so much with like Halloween 4 and the way they did that?
Can't say enough good things about Halloween 4. 4 and 5 are what I grew up on.
Mm-hmm.
Now maybe I was just too young, you know, and I think that's a big part of it. But for the longest time, I really couldn't even. I mixed those two up. You know, was this part in 4 or part from 5 and 4? But that was my introduction, man, to Michael Myers, and Michael to this day he's my number one, man, horror icon. Obviously now I can separate 4 and 5, and for me 4 is superior to 5. And from the get-go, you know, when they say, okay, let's move him, and then the music hits, man.
Yeah.
I also think Loomis shines in 4, man. He really shines in 4. That's something that you just can't bring up. I can't bring up 4 without talking about how much Loomis shines. You know, I think I was talking to you not too long ago about how, you know, when he gets in, you know, get in here, old man.
With the Reverend.
Know? Yeah, when he's in there with that Reverend, that's my favorite sequence with Loomis. You know, and I also like when Loomis, you know, spots him in the, you know, the old rundown, you know, diner / gas station there, and
with the wrapped up face.
Yeah,
Michael.
And that conversation he has is just, I can watch that and get goosebumps today.
Yeah.
You know, when he stops and just says Michael, then you're like, oh shit, he's freaking talking to Michael Myers. Like there's so many epic scenes with 4. But and then you go to the ending is fantastic. Him on the truck, and I will say, if this might just be just me, maybe this is looking at the ending of like part 2. 2's ending with the blood, tears, the gas, the explosion. I did think that 4's ending was a tad bit weak with just gunshots into a grave.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that from when I was a young kid. I still think that today. Not by any means am I saying god awful or anything, but I thought it could have been a little more creative than that. That's just one thing that I thought was a little bit weak. Aside from that, man, love Daniel Harris. Love the cast, the crew, the bar. I love it, man. Yeah. I absolutely love 4. Has a few little minor flaws, but nothing to really, take away from how great that movie was. No, that's also when they go to the school and all that.
Yeah.
And, yeah, man.
That movie does a very good job at like progressing through the movie.
It does. It does. There's some, like you've said, there's some weak acting in there. I don't know if you'll ever be able to say the whole "No Way, No How" without me chuckling.
I love it, dude.
But
it's something that I love about it, though. I won't blast it. You know what I mean? Because it's something that I've grown to love. You know what I mean? Like,
they shoot when they're like, hell, it's Earl Buckley. Who's the guy what's the guy's name they shoot on accident? I used to know his name, man.
I just watched it yesterday too, and I can't even
what's
tell
his
you.
Name? They're like, shit, it's oh man, I used to always know it. But like it's just so they do a great job of progression. Great job. They really just needed a better mask. And in my opinion, the ending could have had a little more depth of how they actually ended Michael.
Right.
Because
kind of a small callback to the original where Loomis shoots him 6 times.
Yeah. It's just my opinion. I thought it was a tad weak. I thought maybe they could have done something a little cooler than, just gunfire into a hole at that point. But, like I said, not god awful, and absolutely I love the film. So, where they got the damn mask, man, that's my number one question.
I really love the potential that the movie ended on. Like the potential for the next movie. Like you get to see Jamie Lloyd, who's now killed, or not killed, but wounded, her stepmother. And she's standing up there and, she's holding the scissors in hand, and Loomis is freaking the hell out. She's standing up right up above on the top. And
yeah, that's an awesome shot right there.
Loomis is freaking out. And it's just like, whoa, like, where could this possibly go? You know what I mean? Like this was this movie, I don't think it gets enough credit for the way that it does, progress through the movie. When I watched this movie yesterday, dude, it's one of those movies that you can watch and time flies. Like you look at the movie and it's just like, well, man, this is almost over, but it's only been, oh shit, it's been over an hour. But you watch it and it's done so well that the movie it keeps you involved in it. It really does a good job of that.
I do believe it ended. It's one of those movies that they had other ideas when it ended. That's other than what really actually took place with 5 and 6. They had like ideas for Jamie, and there was a purpose for that kill and everything. And I think it's something that just didn't come together. Why and all that, I don't know how, but there was supposed to be a lot more meaning to that. Like, now granted, I don't know. Like, do I want her to take over as Michael Myers and all this stuff? I don't know. But I remember, I don't know if it was a documentary I was watching or whatever, but there was significance to that. to
Yeah,
that kill.
It could have been, like, for sure. I do need to run to the bathroom real quick. If you click up no. Don't make me do it, man, because I really can. I really can do it right now.
Someone wasn't going to do Loomis tonight. Oh, shit.
I really can't do it. But if you click in the top right of your screen, Matt, you have the comment tab right there, and you can start looking through some of the comments, talk to those guys. I will be right back.
Top right.
Yeah, you see the comment tab there.
I got you, buddy.
All right, I'll be right back.
I got you. This is so awesome. Then for 5, they dropped the ending from 4, aka a cop out. Timothy. So the original. So yeah, guys, I want to know: am I alone? Am I alone on that, or was the ending to 4? That was an idea that they wanted to make Jamie the killer. You know, because why else would they have her stab her stepmother? Let's see here. The shape. I thought Loomis was going to blow her away. James, I'm right there with you, man. When he first pulled out the revolver, I thought the same thing, guys. I thought, like, and you see that's where you see that pain in Loomis. You know, he's been fighting to end Michael for how long? And he finally sees it come to an end. And then he sees that it's potentially going to transfer to this little girl. And he's not having it. He does not want to start over again. So, James, I thought the exact same thing. Like, I think he was not going to hesitate, and he was going to blow her away. But, yeah. Michael, I was just reading one of James the Shape's comments, you know, how he thought that Loomis was going to blow her away. And I was talking about how, you know, the reason he was doing that, like, is like, he just saw Michael come to an end.
Yeah.
You know, and he'd been working on that for how long?
Right. And he thought
like,
he was done.
I'll be damned if this is going to start through some 12-year-old girl, you know, or whatever.
Right.
So I get it.
100%, man.
Comments,
you know,
are awesome.
Poor freaking Loomis, dude. Like, look what he's been through. Look at his face.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
the comments is so cool.
This is taking everything from him. You know what I mean? Like, it's taken everything from him, and he finally feels that he has conclusion, and he can go on living his life.
Yeah.
He's like, there she is.
Where's my 6-shooter? Like, no.
Right. And there she is, right in front of him. You know, and he's just
like, between her eyes before this progresses. Like, I don't care if she's 12 or 5.
Yeah.
Like, God, no.
I mean, that's a lot of stuff there, man.
That was super funny. When you were talking about, you know, like how Loomis is saying, you know, you don't have a police force, and like at the point he's just so over that, like, you know, where you were.
Well, yeah, dude, and I mean,
I've been trying to track this guy down for. You know.
I mean, you look at it and it gets even worse in 5. You know, that poor guy, dude, in 5 has lost it. Like, he's done snatched up that little boy. He done snatched up Jamie. He's sitting there like, he just got a casket. What do you think he's gonna do with that? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's just like
he's at his limit.
He went from being mad to like, please help me, please. You know what I mean? Like, it's an emotional roller coaster for this poor old man at this point. And he's a better man than me, because if I'd have gotten in the car with that Revan, I'd be like, how far are you going, man? Take me to the airport. I'm about to move overseas. Like, I'm done with this. Look at my face. For the love of God. Like, let them deal with this at this point. I've done all I can do. I've given half of my life, probably a majority of my life at this point. Yeah, man.
I'm just thinking even more how great Loomis was. Like, God, he was so good as.
He was.
I'm sorry, Donald Pleasance. How great he was.
Yeah, Donald Loomis. Yes. Melissa's in the chat saying, "Hey, Matt and Michael, what's up, Melissa?
Hello, Melissa.
So yeah, looking into
5, man.
Yeah, let's jump right in, man. Let's just jump right in. And I have to admit, man, the first thing I noticed about 5, because it's picking up right where 4 left off, is you get something that's what you get. We went from this, when he was in the well or in the hole, and when he came out, we got that.
I love it.
And he's not even tucking his mask in. Like, it just lays there like a flat, labby, like, oh God, it's that was the first thing I noticed. Like,
you are a collar purist.
Oh, 100%.
You are a collar purist, and I get it.
It's Michael's look. Like, how can you not?
I get it. I get it.
You're a man that wears masks, right?
I do.
So if you put a mask on, right, a Michael mask, are you going to tuck your collar in or no?
No, collar's up, man. Collar's up.
Like,
collar's up. I was actually smiling, laughing, thinking about you. We put at the shop, we put a kills together, and Mad Mom actually put it together, but she did it in a hurry, and she left to go open, our other shop. Mm-hmm. So I'm left here looking at it like, what do I need to do to fix this? And the collar was down. And I think it was James. It was James, the shape, that brought it up to me. Because I agree with you, Michael. The collar should be up, but I don't go right to that the way you do, But it was, James and I were sitting there, and James, correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say he says, Matt, I think that collar needs to be up. And then I looked over at it, and I was like, yeah. And we put that collar up, and he looks fantastic. So, no, man, I get what you're saying. I'm just not as fixated on it as you are. But, yeah, collar should be up, man. That's what I'm getting at. The collar should be up. But, yeah, man, you, man, it's like nails on a chalkboard.
It is nails on a chalkboard for me. It has to be tucked, man. Like, that's just.
Now, is it always down in 5? Is it never up?
It's always down through the whole movie. It drove me absolutely crazy through the whole freaking movie.
I never knew.
Oh God, that's like one of the first things that I noticed. Like, to the point to where if you were to cosplay a 5 and you tuck the mask, you would be wrong. You would be wrong, and it's just like, it's an annoying wrong for me. Like, it just looks like it's thrown on there and it's just hanging there. Like, oh God.
Now if we're solely talking, the part 5 mask I always hated it. I've always hated it, but I don't know, for whatever reason, the last year it's grown on me like a freaking weed, man. I don't know if it's something that's so ugly I love it, but I do, man. Like, it's there. It is. That's a screen accurate part 5 right there, and
it's a very well made mask. But
guys, I love it. It's like so ugly. It is creepy. Like, it whoops 4 in my opinion, but man, it has grown on me. But it's not Michael. Like, so how did they get to this? Like, the hair's too long, the face is off. Like,
he looks like he's got some premature balding going on there.
Yeah, it's a great question. Like, just how they get to this. No, I do love it. I absolutely love 5. Like, I was blessed to, Mad Mom got me this for Christmas. This is as screen accurate as you can get. I absolutely love it. Thank you, Mad Mom. But it does raise a lot of questions. Like, they got the poster right on 4, but then you get the 4 mask, the 5. They're just all over the board with the mask at this point. Like, what are they doing? Did they just lose that mold to the William Shatner, or
the way that 5 was made, I
like to give you guys those visuals of the ones we're talking about. So
they wanted to make money again because Halloween 4 did so well. They rushed out 5. And they just threw a whole bunch of scenes together. Hell, Jamie's character didn't have dialogue for the first half of the movie. It's like, well, we could just make her quiet. Now we don't have to write her apart. You know what I mean? It's just 5. There's so many things about 5, and let's kind of go through 5. So, like I was saying, he gets out. He's through that. He's gone to the man who, he makes an attempt to try to kill him, but falls down, and the man takes care of him for a year, right? So he had to be feeding Michael. I'm sure Michael had to get up and go to the bathroom at some point. I'm sure he was not laying on that cot for a solid year,
right,
pissing and shitting himself for a year, right? So there had to be some sort of camaraderie there, for that to be a relationship of some sort. And I guess, it clicks on to be Halloween. You see him put his mask on, he kills the old guy, and Jamie,
that guy was such a good dude, man. Like, yeah,
right? He helped a stranger, right? It's kind of like the buddy that we were talking about the other day from Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Yeah,
he just wanted to help out, but Michael wasn't having it. So you start to realize that Jamie has this connection with him. It's getting stronger than it was in 4. And it was just you see that she's in like a hospital scenario, so that's how they remedied her stabbing her stepmother, and you see Loomis is there. So how are you feeling at this point? For me, I'm just kind of like still trying to figure things out on where we're going here.
Well, there's 2 versions of me watching this film. There's because you've helped me break this down, like what you see when you're a kid and what you see as an adult and stuff. So back in the day, man, it was just give me 4 or 5, watch it just for those parts where I see Michael. Breaking down 5 once I got older it just started really showing its weaknesses. But I'm right there with you, Michael. I don't know where they're going. There's a lot of questions that need answered. So that's where I am, man.
Yeah.
Not a clue where they're going. Trying to piece it all together. The mask is weird. But I'm also, like at this point, it hasn't taken a nosedive. He killed the poor guy. I thought it was very cool. Adding on to the end of 4, like with the dynamite going down there and you actually seeing him going down. That all I thought was very cool. And I still think that today.
It gave a realistic reason on how he didn't die in that hole.
Yeah.
Yeah,
as opposed to just leaving us in the dark. Like,
right.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty damn cool. But he wakes up, and with the whole Daniel Harris speechless and trying to talk through what she's doing. Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I'm
kind of took away from the character. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm confused a little bit even. But I'm not hating on it. I'm still, up for the ride. Like I said, I like the beginning. I still think that was very cool, showing them throw the dynamite down there and the visuals of Michael kind of escaping, floating down the river and whatnot. All kind of cool. But yeah, I agree with you. I'm wondering what route they're going to take. So
yeah.
And Michael, I'm going to actually use the restroom real quick while you continue.
Sure. Polar saying there's one rule in a Halloween movie: tuck in that collar. 100%. Like 100%. Lydia is saying it was Jeff who brought up the collar on the mannequin, and that's what I'm talking about. Good job, Jeff. Like, yes, that 100%. Russell Dorsey saying Daniel Harris probably would have been a better Amber in Scream. Yeah, hey, dude. You know, I love Daniel Harris. 100%. Should be good at a lot of stuff. Wayne Turner is saying, was Kevin from Home Alone really John Kramer in Saw movie? I'm not touching that one. The Shape, always pop that collar up. Can't be Michael without it. That's 100%. 100%. Dude, when I look at Michael, that's the first thing. That will absolutely drive me crazy if the collar's not popped up. Like, I can't help it. Like, it's just something. It's like, I don't know. I almost look at it in my mind as if Jason had his hockey mask on backwards. Like, it can't not be tucked in for me. Like, it pulls me out of it. Even if I see cosplay, you know, at a convention, you know, and someone doesn't have their collar tucked in or their mask tucked in their collar, I notice it. You know, it's just like, let me fix that for you, buddy. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you got to do it. Polar's saying 5 got it wrong in so many ways. And I mean, yeah, and hopefully, you know, we can get into that tonight, because there are so many things, especially watching it the other day, you know, just, yeah, they could have. I think the thing that aggravates me with 5 so much is the potential that this movie had that it did not live up to. You know, you're gonna, and I'll bring this up later when Matt gets back, because I want to talk to him about it. But, you know, killing off Rachel, you know, that's one of the huge mistakes that this movie made for me. You know, Ellie Cornell did such a good job playing Rachel that it was, and she already had that dynamic with Jamie. So why would you break that up? Like, why would you spent an entire movie, right, building a relationship. You spend all of 4 building this relationship, a new relationship in Halloween at that. You spent the whole 4 building the relationship between Rachel and Jamie. And you just take that away. Like, it's almost, it almost hurts 4 for that point, because 4 did so well with that you're building towards this new, you know, between the two of them, you know, one final girl almost, you know, they're a team. And to take away Rachel early in the film too, we're not talking about like a sacrifice at the end. We're talking about a pointless, meaningless death from the final girl that carried your last film, that made you want to make this sequel so bad. And for her to go out like that, to just get stabbed in the back, like, seriously, like, that's how you're gonna treat. If Jamie Lee Curtis was killed at the beginning of 2 like that, people would have lost their minds, because it makes no sense. That's what I'm thinking, because Rachel took that place. Now she's looking out for Jamie, and you just and then you replace her with Tina, who doesn't even make it anyway. So it doesn't make any sense whatsoever to me. That, I mean, if you eventually want it to just be Jamie, I get it. But to do the dirty move of getting rid of Rachel like that, like, do better, guys. Please do better, please. How did you feel about that whole scenario with Rachel and, you know, what they did with Ellie Cornell's character?
Oh, all I can think about, Michael, is I'm going way out left field, but it almost makes me think, like, if we could redo so many of these great franchises, you know, they've done the same thing with the Friday the 13th girls. Look at your final girl from part 1. Look what they did with her in part 2. Jenny, where was she in part 3? It's just like, it's like a trend, man. But so many factors go into that, writing, did they want too much money? Were they not willing to pay what they were worth? Yada, yada, yada. So it's just one of the things I think it's always going to be out of our control. You know what I mean? But yeah,
but it doesn't make the movie any better. It still makes it suck. Like,
no, I get that. I get that. But we've seen it time and time again, man. And unfortunately, I think we're going to see it in the future. Which, it's just, for us purists, it's always going to suck. If we have whatever it is, we have a mask we love, we want it to continue. We have a final girl, we want it to continue. We like the look of the Myers house. We don't want a Victorian house the next movie.
We haven't even got to that yet.
But you know what I'm saying, Michael? Yeah. We so it's always those random changes that are for no reason other than they didn't work their shit out. It's always going to suck. But, maybe I'm a guy, I try to look on the bright side. It's going to happen, But yeah, man, I didn't like it. They did her very dirty. Because I liked her a lot. I liked their chemistry. I liked her chemistry with Daniel Harris. But just to boom, she's out, and don't get me started on Tina, man. Like, Tina is up there in the running for most annoying horror character of all time. Like, she is up there. But yeah, I didn't like it, man. But like, what I'm saying is I didn't like it any more than I like the mask change, the house change, and that's how it's gonna be, man. We are purist, and it'd just be great to see a horror franchise that just sticks with their people, sticks with the look,
sticks with a competent story. I mean, dude, this story is so far all over the place, and I think that the only shining light in this movie is Loomis. Like, he is doing everything he can to keep this movie together. They took Danielle Harris out of the first, I would say, hour of this movie with no dialogue. You know what I'm saying? So she's not. I think that there are probably 2 or 3 things, even before Rachel's killed.
Hey, Billy, she said that.
I think that was the first thing she said. Like, and that was like 45 minutes into the movie.
No, I'm with you 100%, Michael. I don't know what. Yeah, I'm with you, man.
And you look at this, and it's just like, even to go to where before Rachel dies and Loomis calls her, like, get out of the house, and she runs away, and the dog comes running back down the street, and you have the cops walking with that stupid music, and it's just like, this is the most god-awful thing that I've ever seen for this to try to be a horror movie. Like, if this movie doesn't have Donald Pleasance in it, like, there's nothing holding this together. And I mean, that's the guy that's holding this whole movie together. Without him, this has absolutely nothing to offer whatsoever. Now you're following Tina, who you already have no attachment to whatsoever. Her boyfriend sucks. Like, this guy's terrible. The only funny thing about, the other couple was the guy putting on the Michael mask and running and screaming, kids being kids and having a good time, but other than that, I mean, this movie offered me absolutely nothing whatsoever. And where 4 went so fast, I felt like I was watching this movie for 5 hours yesterday. Like, this one just wouldn't end fast enough. Like, 5 to me this is bottom tier Like they just wanted a movie out called Halloween. You know what? Something else I do like about it is the opening sequence with the knife and the pumpkin. That sound, you know, when they're rolling the credits at the beginning. That's kind of cool.
So I enjoy this movie much more than you do. I do. I guess I could even relate it as maybe a guilty pleasure. Not as much of a guilty pleasure as, like, say, your Jason X. Now, when I say this, guys, I'm not saying it's a great movie. It's not. But I'll just after hearing you talk, Michael, I don't hate it as much as you do.
Oh God, this is a bad one for me.
I get it. I get it. And it's on a lower end for me, but I can watch it, and I liked Donald Pleasance talking to him when he's out in the woods and saying, "Go home." I liked the chase in the car. I liked Michael in the car, and where they wreck, and he's got, you know, his head's on there, and the alarm's going off, and he, you know, puts his head up, and you know, and then he stands up out of there and all that. I like it, man.
I mean, how fast could that car be going if he's avoiding trees to do that much damage when you hit a car, like, or when you hit a tree? Like, that car was smashed like he was going like 85. And there's no way with him weaving in and out of like all the trees and everything that he were to hit that and that much damage be done to that Camaro. The car
was that bad, was it?
The whole front end was shit. I just watched it yesterday. Okay. It looked like he hit that thing going 90 or 100 miles an hour. You ever seen like one of those like stunt, like test dummy like crashes?
Yeah.
Where they showed it to different speeds. Like the way that hit that tree, it looked like.
All right, but I can
on the highway.
I have parts that get me excited. I like him. I like him chasing them in the car. I also like, guys. I can't say it enough. I don't think this is a great movie. I don't. I love the staircase scene. You know, when Donald Pleasance walks up to him, and he is just towering over him, and he does that like side look. I absolutely love that shot. I love that shot. Matter of fact, I got James a picture of that because he wanted one. I got him a shot of that on canvas, and but you know, it's just little things, guys, to where I'm just liking like this little part of the scene and the look and stuff. The story's a shit show, Michael. I am agreeing with you for the most part. I'm just saying it's got a slight guilty pleasure for me where
there's nothing wrong with that, dude.
I can enjoy it a little more than you can, for sure. But is it a big go-to? Absolutely not. But you know, yeah, that's all I'm saying.
There's just. And that was something that we talked about, you know, the other day when we were talking on here. You know, like, I'm so invested in story, and it just seems like a lot of these they're just not even trying, and they're just trying to, you know, pump crap out so the consumer will give them some more money just because it has a name on it. And it's just like, I'm not gonna eat a shit sandwich and smile about it, dude. No, like that's not happening.
Yeah. And like, it runs very rampant with slashers. Like,
it does.
Sure.
It's like, I'm not going to say thank you for making me eat this crap of something that I love. You know what I mean? Like, I think that, you know, it doesn't, it's disappointing more than anything else. I wouldn't say that it's frustrating for me. I would just say that it's disappointing. You know, like, you could have taken another year. You know, you had great characters. You had a great story. You know, people that were invested in it, you know, but no, you got greedy. You had to pump it out the next year. You wanted money. So it's just like, we're going to just, and they're going to smile and they're going to pay for it and they're going to go watch it and we're going to make money because they're not smart enough to care that this movie sucks. And it's just like, it's frustrating and disappointing for the simple fact that you don't think that we're worth a good movie. You just want to make money, and I think that this one aggravates me almost the most because of the turnaround, and that's the feeling that this movie gives me. And I think that's why that I get emotional over this one, and not so much like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I didn't like it, but I didn't care. You know what I mean? Like Resurrection, I didn't like it. I don't care that I don't like it. This one I cared because I was really invested in 4. I was invested in the story. I was invested in the characters. I wanted to see what happened next. And man, this one hurts. Like this one, even watching it yesterday, I was like, you got to be freaking kidding me right now.
And it's like, yeah, I 100% see what you're saying, and it's real bad with slashers. Like, I feel terrible for anybody that's like a big, say, Hellraiser fan
or Nightmare fan, and Freddy's Dead came out.
But dude, like the last 5 Hellraisers started being like a police detective story that they just slapped the name Hellraiser on, threw a guy in a pinhead costume in there for like 2 seconds, and tried to just make money off of that name. Like, right. Dude, Hellraiser purist had to be just livid. Because I was a semi fan, but yeah.
Well, the character Pinhead is awesome. As a character,
and he's always
freaking awesome.
Done shady. Like, they could have done him so much better. But yeah, as a character, he's on. I'd even say second to none. Like, he's that good. But his franchise, oh God, his franchise. Oh man, they just started just slapping the name. You felt like you were watching like an episode of what's a top crew crime show or something. Like, you felt like you were watching something like that, and they just threw the name in there, and
like the first 48.
Yeah, showed a guy with pins for a couple minutes, and Hellraiser, Inferno, but no, 5 was definitely a victim of that. Make a quick buck.
I think that's just one of the reasons that I'm so passionate about not liking this is I felt like my intelligence was taken advantage of when this movie came out. Even as a kid, I looked at my buddy like, this blows. Like, this is terrible. And even as a kid to say that, I was 11. You know what I mean? And if you're 11 and you're just like, what the hell is going on? I mean, now granted, I did enjoy the chase scene where she's going up and down the chute. I thought that built some good tension, but
I actually forgot about that. That was a good.
But I mean, we're getting past right after it. Michael takes his mask off and cries. Do you think that I want to see my guy that I came here to see that's supposed to be dominant and scary and he's the shape, and he takes his mask off and cries, and his eye looks fine. Like, I guess he got stabbed in the eye. That healed up pretty well.
That was allergies, Michael.
Totally allergies.
Buddy, dude, there's a lot of dust in that attic.
Uncle, let me see. It's just like, what are we doing right now? What are we doing? And if you could almost picture 11-year-old me with like a hat on and everything, sitting there like, what are we doing right now? What are we doing right now? Why is this happening right now? Oh God, this is one that if you say, hey, if you could erase any Halloween from existence, this is one of them. You know what I mean? Like, sure, Resurrection, yeah, but I mean, to me, like H2O was a great ending for that. Like Resurrection, it happened.
I could never erase 5.
Oh God, I could
never erase 5.
To erase 5.
Do you like Resurrection better than 5?
No.
Okay.
But it doesn't make me as mad as 5 does.
Okay. I just wondered.
But it's close, man. There's 3 at the top. Like, they're right there. Like, because here's what 5 has that Resurrection doesn't, and it's Donald Pleasance. Okay? So at least I get some good lines from Donald. Hell, one's even in the intro. I prayed that he would burn in hell but in my heart, I knew that hell would not have him. You know, great line, wasted on just a terrible, terrible film. Like I say, the only thing holding this together is Loomis, 100%. You know, my opinion, of course. You know, that's where I'm at on this one. And I know I usually don't get too passionate about, you know, movies like this, but man, this one really, really aggravated me out of all of them. You know, like I said, more disappointing, you know, than anything else, for sure. Oh, but let's see what we got in the chat. The Shape is saying cars don't explode like that when hit head on. Yes, James, they do not. It's they do not. Russell Dorsey saying make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for Michael Myers. Hey, I'll take one of those too, please.
Man,
Sandwiches dies tonight.
No.
Halloween 5 died tonight. Melissa is saying I love H4 and 6. Right, Melissa, that's awesome. Russell is saying Freddy's Dead dies tonight. It does. And he's also saying that Michael Myers had allergies. Dies tonight, for sure.
Damn.
Angels is saying I wouldn't delete any period, although 5 is quirky as hell with their cartoon-ass sounds. Yeah. It almost sounded like a Disney or like a Looney Tunes cartoon. You know, when the cops came out. It was just like, you gotta be freaking kidding me right
now. Yeah, they did have some cartoon sounds, but yeah, man, 5 is just very in the middle for me. I can check it out, man. I can watch it.
Michael was eating an onion sandwich before he went upstairs. That's what made him cry. Oh God, I can't believe it. He even cried. The Shape doesn't cry. That should be a hashtag right there. The Shape doesn't cry.
There's no crying in baseball.
The Shape don't cry. That's what it should be.
Michael, I want to let you know I've got about another 20-25 minutes, buddy. I'd love to get into 6, but if that's not enough, we can do that. We can postpone that.
I feel like I've said everything I have to say about 5. So I feel like I'm good there. If you feel like you're good with 5, we can move on to 6.
I'll say one last thing about 5. I'll say one last thing if that's cool.
Yeah.
The ending was very weak. Is again, I guess I'm not. I guess across the board, I've not been that happy with how they like kill him or end him. But tranquilizing darts and like Loomis beating him with a 2x4 again. I'm gonna go with a lame. Maybe just as a kid, I expected more elaborate endings. And when I think about a good ending, I think about like Friday 3, him hanging and then he's still there. And, after they open the barn door, I think of Halloween 2, the explosion, so at this point they've done 2, just gunshots into a grave. And then Loomis, beating with a 2x4. So for me, they're like 0-2. Like,
yeah,
and I feel like I'm the only one like semi defending this movie, but I'll even say,
I love that you like it. Like that's good, man.
And I don't love it, Michael. But yeah, the ending was very weak. So I just wanted to at least get us to the ending. But yeah, I thought it was very weak. But yeah, let's get into 6, man. Let's get into 6.
It is funny that you brought up like Friday the 13th because you think of 3. Like he did hang himself. He did get out of that. But they chopped him in the head. Like he took a shot to the head, and was down. And then even in 4, you get the machete slide. You know what I mean? Like you get that.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Gnarly. Like that's like top 4, even of 80s gnarly. Like, yeah.
You get that, even in 6, you put him in a damn you put him in the lake where he belongs and you turn a boat motor on his face with a chain wrapped around his neck. I got closure from that. 7, I wasn't a fan of the way he went out, or 8, but up until that point, they did do a good job. But Michael, I think it was more capture than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Russell is saying, nah, he had dust allergies. Yeah, she was just wiping it away for him. He was taking care of it. Wayne Turner was saying Michael 5 is alive. Big Short Circuit fan.
And there was
man.
a lot of
love that movie.
asbestos in the attic.
For sure. Yeah,
that'll get anybody, teary-eyed. So
James is saying you're absolutely right, Mike. He does not cry. He's the shape. He doesn't. Loomis is Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Oh yeah, man. That 2x4.
He loves Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I love
that. His hand out and stuck his tongue out 100%. Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm not ever going to do that again. Okay.
I'll clip it out for Patreon. Both of us throwing up this Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Russell Dorsey is saying, did you see how dusty the house was in Halloween 5? No wonder his eyes were watering.
Yeah. I get it, Russell. I get it.
If you want to beat the shape, take him somewhere dusty. But we're jumping into 6 now, man, and we have touched on 6, quite a little bit here, through the chat and everything. But I'll let you start off with 6. I'll let you jump into 6.
I'm more than happy to start off with 6. 6 starts out, Jamie screaming, yada yada yada. And I'm visual, guys. I'm very visual with this stuff. And from the very beginning, it's very simple. I'll say what got me super excited. The nurse says, go take your baby. And then she walks off into that dark hallway. And I'm telling you, if they didn't duplicate Michael coming out of the darkness from the original so well at the beginning of 6, when she pauses for a minute because I believe she hears something or whatever it is. Dude, he comes out of that shadow so 1978-ish and just picks her up, and then you hear that music, man. Puts her on that spike on the wall, does the step back like he's pinning Bob again. I was ready, man. I was stoked. And Michael, this was the first movie I was old enough. I'm still very young, but old enough, and I'm at the theater with my brother, my uncle. So it's the first Halloween I was at the theater with. Now, granted, I've still got a whole lot of questions as well, as far as them, wheeling Jamie Lloyd through, and having
who is not Danielle Harris, by the way.
Who is not Danielle Harris. And I will absolutely say, because I'm a huge Danielle Harris fan, guys. That was like my first crush. So huge Danielle Harris fan.
Same.
So that absolutely bothered me. That bothered me, but I'm mostly there for Michael. And when he appeared out of that dark hallway, he looked, in my opinion, fantastic. The best I've seen him, actually, maybe ever, because at this point I'd not even seen the original Halloween, guys. Yeah, I know that's going to be a lot of what the Matt. At this point, I've not even seen the original Halloween. So best I've ever seen Michael look. And, they go further with, going out there, the guy in the rain and everything. So I'm loving it and hating it at the same time. I'm loving Michael's look, loving the atmosphere. Pissed that it's not Danielle Harris. So that's where I'm at, man. I'm like a love-hate relationship right here at this point at the beginning. So where are you at on the beginning of this one?
So with this, the first thing I remember thinking is, where are they? Where did this baby come from? And yeah, the Michael stick on the wall, I thought that was cool, but Michael looked different to me when he comes out of there, and believe me, I know the times we live in. I'm not trying to body shame Michael Myers, but to me, he just looked like he was big, like round. He looked like he'd been eating well for the last 4 or 5 years, or however many years it had been, that had taken place in between there. And I just thought that he didn't look like Michael to me. He looked like when we talked about James Jude Courtney, like the way James Jude Courtney, like the way his body, looked as Michael. Like you think of Mike, you think of Jason, you think of more of a stockier type of guy, you know what I mean? But looking at Michael, I remember thinking like he looks different, like he looks bigger, like wider. You know what I mean? Like that was something was on my mind when I was seeing that. And I'm just like, okay, it's not Danielle Harris. I had a hard time, with that, but I was kind of like you. It's like, well, whatever. Let's just see where they're going with it. So I was kind of on the fence early. Like it was a better mask than 5. So I was happy with that. But we've gotten 3 movies with 3 totally different looking Michaels at this point.
Yeah.
And to me, that's something that's stuck in my head. But this movie, I had been waiting for a while, because you got 4 and 5 back to back, and this kind of, some time went by before this one. As a kid, as much as I didn't like 5, it was just like, well, who the hell is this guy that's breaking Michael out? You know what I mean? Like, you can't. My OCD is just like, well, I got to know who the hell it is at this point, so I really was happy to see 6 just so I could get an answer to who that was. You know what I mean? So at this point, they haven't really even answered anything.
No.
But early the chase is on, and that's kind of where I'm at with that.
I'll even say, I totally understand where you are with horror and slashers in general. Like, you do want your story to make sense and all come together, and I do too. But it's just a bad trend, I think, with slashers. Like they do a lot of just,
well, Halloween in particular. Like Halloween's really bad at it.
It is, and I do think it's a lot of them. So I guess I've gotten really well at just screw that. But I love a good story too. But man, they just don't seem to come together, and especially the Halloween, dude. You run it back. It's storyline. It's mask. It's Myers' house. It's just all over the place, man. It really is. So,
well, I will say it is the best mask out of the trilogy. I like it better than 4, and I like.
Oh, it's one of my it's one of my favorites of all time.
I mean, that's what I saw Michael in 6. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't look like.
Now, is that a shot from the film?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's it. Just doesn't look like so much like Michael to me. You know what I mean? Like,
God, I love his 6 look.
See, to me, the collar's down. You know what I mean? He's, to me, like,
so his
like
collar's down. Is it down the whole time in 6?
Yeah.
Michael, I would have never known that. And
like in both of them, like you could see,
God, that mask is phenomenal.
Like it's just like when I look at like Halloween 2018, when I look at Halloween Kills, and hell, even Ends, it's like they've progressed so much in the look of Michael and the way James Jude carried himself. Like in looking back at these, especially 4, 5, and 6, I'm just like, there's no way that they compare to that. Like even H2O, and as much as I don't like Resurrection, it wasn't horrible.
See, I'll take the look of 6 over any James Jude Courtney mask.
That?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
No way.
That mask is insane.
No
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. And that's what's fun about this. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Now I wish I had a picture of James and Courtney that they're out there. Oh,
yeah, I knew that would surprise you. I love the mask on 6. My 3 favorites are 6, the original, and Rob Zombie's. Those are my 3. It's Rob Zombie, the OG in 6. And yeah. The 6 looked like it was like made out of clay. Like,
and like I said, it looked better than 4 and 5.
It was
the mask
so good. It was so creepy. Like the kills, the burnt, and all that does not do a lot for me.
Even if it's not burnt, the mask and the way that Michael looks is just, to me, my opinion, looks so much better than like any of these, like by like a lot, like a lot. But I mean, that's my interpretation of Michael.
That's fun, dude. I think it's fun. I think it's fun, man. Other people want to get pissed, and call the other guy.
You don't agree with me. I don't like you. You're either with me or against me.
Fun. Like I liked watching your reaction when I said that. Because
it's like my brain can't.
No,
process it, but that doesn't mean that it's wrong.
I knew it would baffle you. Well, I'll be honest. When I first saw the 2018 mask, I it was right there with 4 for me. It looked so weird, Michael.
What did?
The 2018 mask.
What? It was the original. Christopher Nelson did an amazing job with that mask.
It had wrinkles all over it.
It's aged?
Yeah, for me, it just was so.
Oh my God. Like my brain can't comprehend it.
I know when he shuts the car and he puts the mask on. It wasn't scary. It did not do it for me. Like 6 was, in my opinion, 10 times better than that mask. Now it's grown on me over the years, but then when they go to the burns and the mold and stuff, it doesn't do a lot for me, man. So it's to each his own thing, man. But yeah, and I love when I say something and somebody's like, really?
Oh God, dude! Because, like my brain can't even like.
Yeah, I know. Like I actually, it took a long time for the 2018 mask to even be kind of okay and kind of cool for me. I thought it just looked weak and not intimidating and kind of off. Yeah. Yeah, man. Dude, people are always, I'm never the popular opinion. So yeah, I'm cool with that.
Hey, man. All right. So where are we at now? Like
what he say there? The 2018 is by far the best, man.
I agree. I do. I agree with Angels. 100%. It's the same mask. It's just aged.
Oh God, it looks so goofy.
Oh God, I can't even.
6 is so good. 6 is so good, guys.
Oh.
If there's anybody out there that agrees with me on 6,
Melissa agrees with you. She loved H6. I don't know if she's talking about the mask, maybe just the movie in general.
Nobody's gonna agree with me. I'm used to it. I can take it. I can take it.
Russell is saying, and when Paul Rudd's Tommy Doyle laughing at Michael Myers, and Michael Myers was smiling.
Dude, the scene where Paul Rudd laughs for no reason. I've always thought
is that like the doorknob scene where he's trying to get in the door?
Yes, and
yeah.
He's
yeah.
I don't know if he's saying he's still drugged up, or if it's just a blip. But I've always liked that scene. It's so weird.
James is saying, although the collar was not popped, he still looks awesome. The mask made him look great.
James, I would love to know your take. What do you like better, the 2018 Michael mask or the H6 mask? Please let us know. I would just like to know.
I agree with you, Wayne. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same. It's the same mask to me. It's just aged 100%. Melissa saying, yes, Russell, when he's knocking the door down and Paul smiles at him, looking at Michael smiling back almost. True.
Yeah, it's so funny. He's like, and then he's like, come on, or something like that. He's like, come on. And then he smiles real weird, man. Paul Rudd's performance, I don't know whether to say like genius or just off. I really, do you feel that kind of way, Michael? Like,
I feel like it was Paul Rudd was a very young actor at the time, you know, but I feel like
a phenomenal actor. He is.
I feel like it was overly done to try to be like in a horror movie. It almost sounded like someone was comically trying to portray horror. That's how I felt with it. Like a lot of the things he was saying almost felt like something that I would say to you when the night is dark and it is full of terrors. You know what I mean? That's what, and that's us joking. Yeah. You know, that's how I felt like his portrayal was. Okay. Now, granted, not everybody will probably agree with me, but that's just what went through my head. Even as I was watching it for the first time, it's just like, it's almost like just like I could definitely tell it was acting for sure. But I mean, I love Paul Rudd, you know,
dude, I do too. And it's like, yeah, I'm just still on the fence with this one. Like, it's like, because yeah, he was supposed to be this like, you know, quirky, off the wall, like, so I don't by any means hate on his performance. You know, but dude, we haven't seen a good Tommy Doyle since the original fucking Tommy Doyle. You know,
well, honestly, as much as it pains me to say that, I don't think the Tommy Doyle and Rob Zombie's Halloween did too bad. You know, like I thought he was pretty decent.
Yeah. I just didn't want to say that because I thought I'd be alone again. But yeah,
say what you say, man. Say what you say. The Shake.
But no, I agree. I actually thought he was a very good Tommy Doyle, but I've never seen a good grown-up Tommy Doyle, I guess is what I'm saying. Like, true. I've never seen a quality.
But I mean, you have to admit, like, as much as we talk about, you know, the actor's portrayal and this and that, they're directed in a certain way. You know what I mean? So obviously the director was okay with that portrayal and decided to move forward. So, you know, at the end of the day, it could have just been same with Anthony Michael Hall. You know, like that's what the director wanted them to do. That's what they did. They signed off on it and it happened, right? So James is saying Michael looked chunky because he ate 5 Whoppers and a large fries along with a chocolate shake. That's
not the question I asked you, James.
He may have been eating well.
James, I would love to know what mask you prefer. The H6 mask or the 2018 aged mask? I'd love to know what you think. Michael, you know James, love James as much as I do. He's a great guy and he's a Halloween purist.
I don't know if you could call him a purist because a purist goes back to the original and feeling like, you know, you guys are very much accepting of the remakes and things like that.
I meant purist in like in another way. He loves Halloween. That's all I was saying.
He does, definitely. He loves all versions of Halloween. James can say something good about all the Halloweens for sure. He just loves that guy. For sure.
Words, but he can dog some things too now.
Timothy Centers is saying the Mask ones, number 1, OG, 2, 2018, 3, Rob Zombies, 4, Halloween, 6, 5, Blood Tears. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
H6 gets number 4 and then Blood Tears 5. Okay.
So
dude, rankings of the Mask are so fun.
Yeah, I mean, we did that once.
Yeah,
I don't have to find my list to see.
It was a blast. Like
what I thought back then when we did that.
And it's funny because here I am saying that originally I thought the 18 was goofy. I do thoroughly enjoy the 18 now, and I'm actually looking, Michael, for a really good 2018 mask. But that's how I am, Michael, when things are really, really different. As much as I loved Rob Zombie's Halloween, Michael, when I first saw him put that mask on, it was so different from the original. I hated it. And I was like, what's going on? you know, so it could be similar to that. Like, but it's when it's so different, it almost for me takes years for me to like, okay, that's kind of cool. But you know, when it's very different, just takes a minute. Like, but I remember him shutting that car door, putting the mask on, and I was like, it's not the most intimidating shot. Like,
I just brought up my list of mask rankings from when we did the Halloween mask ranking show.
Yeah.
And I had number 1 was Kills, 278, 3 was 18, 4 was Kills Flashback, 5 was Halloween 2, 6 was End, 7 was Rob Zombie's Halloween, 8 was Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 Dream Sequence, 9 was Curse of Michael Myers. So when we did our show on masks a while ago, that was my list right there. And then 10 was Resurrection, 11 H2O, 12 for 13 5. So yeah, that was on our show when we did that, and that was a while ago. I had to dig for that, so maybe that would be something else that we end up doing to see, you know, where we're at, you know,
today. Yeah.
Later on, yeah, definitely. Maybe before the year's over, we could revisit that for sure.
Now, have we ever ranked the Texas Chainsaw Mask?
Mask? No. Movies.
That'd be fun as hell too. That'd be fun.
With me, it's like 03, and then there's everything else. Like that's how, you know, like I'm not as invested in Leatherface as, you know, most people are. But it's just like I really like the 03.
All right.
Then probably the original.
Just go ahead and shit on my vision. That's cool.
And it's just like that's the Leatherface. It's like, as long as, you know, it's
no, that'd be a cool one. That'd be a cool
yeah.
one. That'd be a cool one. Dude, even the Jason mask can be a cool one. Yeah, I love.
Yeah, that would be interesting to do.
It would.
Jason mask,
I love ranking.
I mean, I'm not trying to say, you know, what my number 1 would be or anything. But I definitely think that would definitely be a fun one to do too, for sure.
Dude,
100%.
There's some good ones in there, and there's ones that are just so close because, well, one, they're so similar. But yeah, it'd be a nice deep dive, man, for sure. But yeah.
Russell is saying at least Michael Myers didn't eat White Castles, like in Ends, him hanging in the sewers in a cave. Yeah, dude. Like, who knows? It was probably pretty rank in that cave in Ends anyway. It might have helped things out down there. Dude, Michael in Ends, he looked like he smelled like, oh, God.
Oh, Bigfoot's dick.
Yeah, like, what was that? What movie was that from? That was a Rob Schneider movie, wasn't it?
Anchorman. Dude, when he puts on the Sex Panther.
What?
When he puts on the Sex Panther.
See, we talk about Paul Rudd movies that we
it
love. It
smells like a turd covered in burnt hair.
I gotta tell you smell like pure gasoline. I love Ron Burgundy,
like
dude.
Bigfoot's dick. Dude, that's the funniest thing to say. I'm sorry, but that just can't smell good. Yes.
Good God, man. Evil Mage 567 is saying, Matt, you mentioned something about a NAG 98 Proto picking up one.
Yeah, man. I picked one up today, and I just don't know a whole lot about it. So if you know a little more than I do, I'd love to go grab it and show you guys. I'm just not sure where it is at this point. But yeah, it's a NAG Proto that I picked up today. It's beautiful. It's a very dark H1, and the hair is, dude, the whole thing, the sculpt, the hair, it's beautiful. But
NAG does great stuff. You remember when we were looking at those busts that day?
Yeah. So yeah, I did pick up a NAG today. So
yeah, you better Google that and see what that's worth before you. Like seriously, nags are definitely expensive.
So
Melissa's saying my favorite mask is 78 and kills. I got you, Melissa.
nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. By any means.
Angel's Joker saying let's piss some people off. The Rob Zombie's mask were the best. Just admit it. I know Matt likes
dude.
Rob Zombie's mask.
That's my boy Eric, and I absolutely agree, dude. I've always said that you know you can say what you want about the movies. The mask was so effing good. It was intimidating. It was and let's face it, up until those movies came out, it was a fresh take, guys. What did we have? Like we said, 4 or 5, 6 for some of you who didn't like it, and then dude, Rob Zombies were so good. I'll tell you one that's grown on me lately. Because we were lucky enough to get all the Trick or Treat Studios mask in from Rob Zombie, but that original one that the boyfriend puts on to scare her, Michael, we got that one in, and dude, it looks insane. It looks insane.
Yeah, that was actually on my list, the highest Halloween mask for Rob Zombie stuff. Like that was actually my number 1 out of the Rob Zombie.
Well, dude, I'm selling out, and you're my boy. Why don't you reach out to me so I can get one in your hands? Dude, they're sold out on their website. Like they're not something to sleep on. They're really not. And
it's kind of like one of those things. When I get one, I get one. You know what I mean? Like
you all look out for you, man. That's
yeah, and I'll let you know for sure.
Your buddy's trying to look out for you.
I appreciate that.
But and my favorite was always the dream sequence. Once I saw that dream sequence of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, it instantly became my favorite of all time. Michael Mass,
Melissa's saying I can't stand the H2 mask because it scares me, and the H5 mask sucks. Russell is saying gotta go with the OG 78. A lot of people are gonna go with the OG 78 for sure. I actually go with kills. Like I can't help it. Like it's to me, I absolutely love it. That's my favorite. You remember when you got those rehauls? And the first thing I was like, where you got kills? You getting kills in? Where you
yeah.
I didn't ask you about a 78. I didn't ask you about an 18. The first thing I was like, what's up with that kill?
It's the kills right behind you, correct?
Yeah, it is. Right in the middle.
It's so gorgeous. It's so gorgeous. But I can't argue with anybody saying 1978 because it's just so iconic. The only thing is what I have to have go along with the 78 is the true coveralls, the true spruce green coveralls. When you have, whether it's a figure, a mask, but when you match that with the true spruce green coveralls, dude, that's Michael to me. Like that's a combo that's hard to beat.
Yeah.
That's when you're talking about Michael behind the bushes, Michael, it's just, true 78's hard to beat. But Rob Zombie did it. Dude, his masks are insane. Like,
oh yeah,
Eric, I hear what you're saying.
Wayne is saying, sadly, I gotta go. Thanks for having me as always. My phone battery dies tonight. Wayne, you have a good one, buddy, because we're about to wrap this one up as it is, man. And always good to have you here, man, as well as it is everybody else. So if we look at this as a whole, the Thorn Trilogy, and you had to thumbs up or thumbs down the whole thing. I know you talked a little bit about you kind of like try to forget this trilogy of this. On my end, for the most part, I would say that I like 33% of it. You know what I mean? And that would give me Halloween 4. 5 and 6 weren't big on me. I'll say that there are things I liked about 6. But it wasn't enough for me to say that it was good enough for me to give the whole trilogy and a whole a thumbs up. So I'm going to thumbs down this trilogy. I know that there's a lot of people that do like it, and there's nothing wrong with liking it, guys. This is definitely just my opinion, of what Halloween did. And I think the Circle of Thorns just wasn't my vision of what I wanted to see Michael as. And that's why my opinion is the way that it is. But Matt, where do you sit with thumbs up or thumbs down for the trilogy as a whole, as well as you guys in the chat?
It's right there. It can't go up and it cannot go down. Yeah. That's where it's at, guys. For me, it's just right there in the middle. My favorite from the trilogy is 6, theatrical cut. Even at that, it's not my, favorite Halloween movie, but I like it for The Mask. And atmosphere goes a long way with me. So, but as far as like story for the whole, Thorn, I'm just not on that ride. I'm not on the ride. So it's just a big, like, even kill for me, guys.
Yeah. Take it or leave it type of deal.
Yeah. Take it or leave it for sure.
I wish I could cherry pick, and that's kind of like what we're not doing here. I love 4, man. Don't get me wrong, you guys. I'm a big 4 fan, but man, the rest of it for me. And you did bring up atmosphere for 6, and I think that 6 did a very good job of Halloween atmosphere. Now the house wasn't right yet, but it was way better than that Victorian mansion, So we were heading,
as did 4 with atmosphere.
4 had great, 4 had a lot of great things.
Yeah, as did 4, and that goes back to, like, right now we're in October. Like we were talking about, the weather's cooler, and then you turn on a Halloween movie. You want to see, like, that opening of 4 with those pumpkins out in the field by the tractor and shit.
The leaves, the fall.
Dude, like, yeah. So yeah, they had things going for them. But was this something where I was like, oh my God, this Thorn is so freaking cool. I want this. No.
I want the tattoo right here as soon as this movie's over.
Yeah, I've gotta say a big no on the whole true, like, Cult of Thorn. So, but I don't hate it, man. So I'm right in the middle with it.
So Byron's in the house. What's up, Byron? Good to have you here, bud. So he throws this out and he says, better trilogy, the Thorn trilogy or the Blumhouse trilogy?
I'm giving a very, very, very slight edge to Blumhouse, but it's very slight.
Yeah.
I know it's a big favor for Blumhouse for you.
Oh yeah, definitely. Between 18 and Kills alone,
but I'm giving a very slight edge to Blumhouse for me, and the reason is that 2018. If I'm going off, oh God, man.
So you could compare movie to movie. 18 to 4, Kills to 5, and to 6.
I might even say I've got to go with a tie. Because I just forgot how much I fucking hate Ends.
The way you feel about Ends is how I feel about 5. So there's that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I am going to go. It could change tomorrow. I'm going to go with a tie on that. Because I don't despise any of the trilogy of the Thorn like I do Ends. It's a tie for me. That was a great question, Byron.
It was fantastic.
That was a fantastic question. But I love 2018, and I love some of the scenes of Kills. But I love 6. I like 6. I love 4. Dude, that was a mean question.
Yeah, and Russell brings up a good point. He says the Thorn trilogy because of Donald Pleasance, and I mean that's
dude. And you have Donald Pleasance, dude. Yeah.
But I mean, as a whole, for me, like I definitely prefer the Blumhouse version for sure. Like I put the movies, I just did it 1 for 1. So I like 18 better than 4, and don't get me wrong, I know there's a lot of people like 4 better than 18, and that's fine. Kills way over 5. And even if I like 6 over ends, which I'm not sure that I even do,
Damn.
You know, it's right there. So I know that I've watched.
See, for me, that's as crazy as anything I've said to you, where you're like, "Damn, man."
I don't really know, man.
Like, damn.
Like Melissa right here. She says, I love H78, 4, 6, 18 kills and ends. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of people, that love a lot of different, of the Halloween movies for sure. Polar is saying, Fix the Mask in 4 is a perfect Halloween movie.
Damn near. Yeah. Yeah.
Russell is saying, if Donald Pleasance wasn't in the Thorn Trilogy, I would have to say Blumhouse Trilogy. Thank goodness for Donald Pleasance.
So Russell's going with the Thorn Trilogy. That's how I take it. Love you, Russell.
But you're holding it like this.
I know.
So that means that the Blumhouse Trilogy should be like this.
Damn.
Right?
Melissa stands up for ends, and that's cool.
Yeah.
That's
100%.
cool. That's cool. It's yeah, man. It's my most hated movie of all time. But man, that's
of
what's
all
cool.
time, like ever.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Angel Joker is saying they took him down for a second time with tranquilizers, 5 and 6. So ultimate choice is part 4. Definitely, it's got that Halloween feel in the air.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, and we talk a lot about atmosphere, and 4's got it, dude. 4 has got it, man, in bunches.
Polar is saying I would watch ends over 5 or 6. I feel like, yeah, I feel like I'm kind of right there too.
Damn.
Sure.
Damn. Okay, guys, just keep stabbing me before we get off here. Just, I can turn around. You can put it on my back if you want. Like, jeez.
Melissa saying my order is 78, 18 kills, 4 and ends, and then 6.
6 is getting crushed.
Russell Dorsey is saying ends might grow on me. I felt the same way about Halloween 3 and ended up liking it.
Oh
yeah. Melissa saying then H3, then H2O. All right.
I love H2O. Love H2O.
This has been fun, man. This was a good
It
show.
always
And I know
is.
you said you had to go. And the thing that I hate so much is time flies. But I'm not trying to do like a 6-hour stream. But I definitely had a great time tonight. And as a whole, we didn't get into 6 as much as I wanted to. But maybe we can revisit 6 at some point. Just kind of like dive in and talk a little bit about.
I'll even 6. Dress up as 6.
Oh shit!
Yeah, man. I got the belly for it. I've been eating plenty of Taco Bell.
Hey, man, and I mean, he's rocking it, dude. And he doesn't look ashamed.
Yeah, dude, I can do that. He
doesn't look ashamed. I do feel like I could outrun this Michael, though. You know what I mean?
Dude, that mask is insane, guys. That mask is insane. It is so good. It is so freaking good. Yes.
Look what he's standing in the pebble.
Show me more, Michael.
The pebble circle.
I love 6, man.
The pebble circle.
Looking 6.
Love
now,
that.
are his coveralls gray and 6?
Yes.
That's so badass. It's so badass.
Coveralls are always gray for 6. For sure.
That's so badass. I thought they were. Yeah. I love 6. If I ever have any 6 fans out there, guys, please speak up. Please speak up.
Anyone, please.
yeah, anyone, please stand up. Please stand up.
Russell saying, I love H2O. The Shape saying Taco Bell Whoppers are far better.
Taco, what?
I think he was saying Taco Bell Whoppers are way better.
Oh man, me and James, we love some Burger King. So James, buddy, we will hit some Burger King.
Hey man, I'm a fan of Burger King, home of the Whopper. You got me.
Well,
I'm there.
You can always find
100%.
You can always find me in this shape at Burger King. So
Melissa's saying I hated 5 and Rob Zombie's Halloween's. All right, Melissa. Timothy Centers is saying 78 H2 Halloween 2, 4, H2O, 28 kills. Right. 2018 kills. I said 28 kills.
Right.
28 kills.
So there are no 6 fans out there. Anybody.
Let's see what Byron, he's got a list here. Halloween 78, I give it 10 out of 10. Halloween 2, a 9.5 out of 10. Halloween 4, Return of Michael Myers. Halloween 2018.
Doesn't even mention 6.
Halloween Kills.
Oh my god. That's so great.
Melissa's saying I like 6, just not my favorite. So there you go.
Thank you so much, Melissa.
There you go.
Yeah.
H6 theatrical cut, but the producer's cut soundtrack is the superior version. All right. So you're talking about music there.
Okay.
Melissa's saying Whopper's yum. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, and then she throws in Bacon King Whopper. Now, see, that's another level right there.
Yeah.
I want a Bacon King Whopper for sure. I don't think I've had one.
Yeah.
Byron continues with 6, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Let's see, Season of the Witch. Halloween 6, there it is. It's number 7. Theatrical cut.
Okay.
And then he goes to Halloween Ends. It's his number 8. So yeah, he's got his full list right there because he continues with Rob Zombie is number 9.
Nice.
Halloween H2O is number 10. 11 is Halloween 5. So I'm assuming that Resurrection's coming up now. Oh, Halloween 2, Rob Zombies, and then Resurrection. Yep, for sure.
Where was Ends?
Ends was shit. Let me go back through these.
Well, thank God it wasn't in there yet because it is.
No, I think it was.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't?
I hope not.
He said, I hope not. Oh, yeah, there it is. It was number 8.
Oh,
Halloween Ends was number 8.
Damn. Man, guys, this has been great.
Lydia's telling us to calm down. Y'all are making me hungry. Well, I think
shit.
DoorDash is going for about another 20 minutes. So if you want to make that happen.
Maybe Lydia can hit us up with some DoorDash. But guys, this has been great.
It is. It's been a blast. If I didn't get to your comment, I apologize. We were kind of all over the place just a little bit there, man. But again, another fun night tonight. And I want to thank you guys for being so engaging in the chat for real tonight. That was definitely fun for sure.
Yeah. Michael, thank you for having me.
Yeah, dude. 100%.
Thank you for having me, buddy. I don't say that enough, but
yeah, man.
I have an absolute blast on here, guys, and I know I'm good for some whacked out opinions. So,
the opinions are opinions, though, right? I mean,
but I love you
guys. when you said that you liked Halloween 5, I had. I had to have that queued up. Like, no, God, no.
And that was the best way to describe it. Is almost like a guilty pleasure. Like, because don't get me wrong, I do know how bad the movie is. Like, don't get me wrong. But if someone says, Matt, you want to get a pizza and watch Halloween 5, dude, I can do it, man. I can do it anytime. But I can do that with about any Halloween except Ends. So, but yeah, man, this is great. And we'll be back for what? 1, 2, and 3?
1, 2, and 3. And awesome. I may do a show during the week this week. I haven't put it together yet, but I'm thinking about jumping on at some point this week. Next week's gonna be crazy, you guys. So we will have our show Sunday. Also Wednesday. Now this is next week, not this coming week as we're coming up. But after our show Sunday, I will be back Wednesday night to talk about Scarefest and all the stuff that is coming up with that. So just check my channel every now and then. You'll see what live shows are coming up. And I do my best to share them on Instagram prior to coming on here, which I didn't do for this show. But I normally do. So just keep an eye on Instagram because I'm pretty sure that we'll have another show this week during the week at some point. Matt, if you want to just hang out for like 2 minutes backstage, I know you got to get going. I do as well. And we'll kind of just talk about what we got coming up real quick. But again, all of you guys, thank you so much for being here tonight. And we'll definitely Definitely.
Yeah.
See you guys next time.
Man, love you guys.
Peace.
Toodaloo, motherfucker.